Resident Evil. Holy shit. They're finally back. Been a fan of the franchise the majority of my life. That being said, since the smoke and hype have settled, I wanted to share my insight on the latest installment. So anyways, review time. This will be my 6th review. Let's get to it. My first run, my thoughts after the first 2 hours was that this game was a duality. You play as Grace in an RE2 style atmosphere, fighting and solving investigative puzzle sections, reminiscent of RE2 and classic survival horror. And then you play as Leon, the action part of the game. Honestly, in my opinion, the better part of the game, reminiscent of RE4 remake, RE5 and 6, except 6 is kinda, I don't know, mixed opinions about that one. I love anything about illegal bioengineering, human experimentation, body horror, CRISPR, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension as a horror fanatic. So this was definitely up my aisle. It always is. And I roll heavy with that as a start. So let's begin. So Grace Ashcroft from the FBI is tasked to go investigate in some spooky hotel. And basically she then gets kidnapped. Now you play as Leon. He's been on the manhunt for who is behind all these raccoon survivor homicides and gets word something's going down at this hotel. That's where their fates intertwine, as the people responsible for those incidents also kidnapped Grace, thus creating this narrative. I thought it was a cool setup, not just a random mission or rendezvous or just random. So I think that's what they were going for, is trying to match two genres of RE games, like the explorative and then the action, trying to get that best of both worlds, and which honestly is not a bad idea. I liked it. I enjoyed the shit out of Resident Evil 9. I mean, Leon's back. I mean, hell yeah. He looks hard and grim, aged, and he has a new badass coat. Still looking good for 50-ish, by the way. And the lovable newcomer Grace, a fidgety, quirky FBI analyst who is on her last whims about everything happening to her. On my first playthrough, everything was engaging, from the sneaking around, saving bullets, exploring new areas, to the gun dancing, axe wielding, kill farming action. It felt great. It was good to play an RE game again. It always is. The horror aspects of Grace's run had jump scares that caught me off guard. You had to save bullets because you never know if you needed them. You were low on supplies and experience, and the mansion that you were in felt very similar to the RPD and Resident Evil 2 remake. Leon's part in this game was hella fun. He's a badass in every way. He has new moves to use in combat. He feels faster, and everything from Resident Evil 4 remake feels a lot familiar or similar here. You can really feel the change up between POVs of Grace, a survivor, to Leon, the undying iconic bioweapon killer. I can't count how many times he has escaped death. Like, his plot armor is just, I guess he's carrying the franchise though, so I mean, why not? You can switch between first person and third person for each character, which I thought was a nice touch of preference. I noticed the zombies' personalities were intact, like a bit of their humanity carried over from their transformation. If you go throughout the mansion, you can find lore on them. It's like their experimentation. I don't know, I thought it was really neat detail, so it was pretty cool. Leon can carry a lot of stuff this game, which means a lot of guns and stuff. He can carry like an extra shotgun or rifle too. My favorite part of combat was switching between all your guns in fight, going from shotgun for close range to Uzi, the classic if you felt like it, or you're smashing ahead with a kick and doing a final kill with his hatchet. There's way more than gunplay to take out enemies. It's like a buffet of gun dancing, if you want to say it poetically. The upgrading system for Grace was weird, I guess. You use blood, you scavenge Monster Hunter style for currency. She uses that blood for new stuff you find along the way via recipes. Leon's way is basically the more kills you get, the more points you get to spend on attachments and body armor and bullets, so yeah. It's not very linear for both Leon and Grace's main parts, and I love that. I think the realism aspects of this game really brings you in, and they did a fanatic job at making this game seem very real. A lot of critics are saying this game is too scary. I guess they're just soft, eh? Or am I just desensitized? The graphics were very similar to RE4 Remake on their RE engine. I guess there's an engine there. Nothing industry changing, even though they do push it to the limits, and it looks really good, especially on the first part of the game. The zombies most all had different styles, grotesque features, very visible, gave me that body horror yuck feeling that I can't get more of. The blood from head explosions would stay there all game, and the animations were as usual up to RE Remake par. All the character models were well done as well. Leon's finally up to date, as he is aged with the same well-kept hairstyle but a little bit longer, and still looking athletic as fuck. The different types of monsters you go through look slick and well done too, like a polished version made from the models before, especially Resident Evil 2 Remake. That's where it seems like maybe the inspiration was kind of drawn for Grace's parts, like the zombies kind of resemble a little bit. I never cared about graphics anyway, like I always say in all my reviews, but I prefer the style. It looks really good. Looks really good. The sound design, the reloads of each gun felt meaningful. The buckshot felt like you shot a fat gun. The machine gun sounded like a real Uzi. The classic felt like you were really shooting a hunting rifle. I have a sound system in the countryside, so I usually blast the shit out of it when I play these games. And the Requiem hand cannon was probably my favorite because you can literally feel the bass in the floor, and it's amazing. Speaking of basements, the sound design for the basement area was pretty good, you know. The sounds of the girl's footsteps echoing down the chambers gave me so much anxiety, like where is she gonna pop up next? She would be like running up ahead of you and you'd be hearing all these chains and shackles. It's freaking you out and stuff, like, oh shit. And getting chased down a corridor, like, oh, it's on the first run, I always get anxiety from getting chased. And it always gives me this feeling. The set pieces all came to fruition and was brought alive by intricate, realistic background sound design. From the noises of a rundown hotel, the chaotic streets of a city, to the futuristics of a laboratory? I don't know. The voice acting, you can really tell Grace was scared out of her socks in the moments of her close personal demise. And Leon was serious and stoic, gritty and down to the point like he's seen too many apocalypses at this point, which, you know, he kind of has. The music, Leon had this gritty type of electronic music when he started his fights. It made everything come alive like an action movie scenes of some sort. Not like Devil May Cry style, but kind of its own thing. Yeah, it's definitely its own thing. The save point had a different style of music, but it was noticeable if you can really try to hear it. The different back scenes had music for each situation, whether you're wandering through a wasteland or dwelling through a bloody basement. Some of the background music can be very intense, haunting and mood-like to build that horror atmosphere. And when you play this game all lights out with a system blasted, it is the best. It is the best. Negatives, nitpicking time. My favorite thing about Resident Evil 4 Remake was that you put it on New Game Plus and immediately you're gonna start killing zombies. You're gonna get right into the action, into the fray. This game, not so much. You're gonna have to do like 10 to 50 minutes of Grace's section. Actually, the first 2 hours is kind of like that. So, I don't know. It's not your game of choice to put on when you're having a couple beers and like, hey, let's play some fucking games. You don't put on Grace's section, that's for sure. Now, I don't hate the game, but here are some things I found to be a bit, I don't know, kinda. So the walking and hiding parts were great to experience to build the atmosphere at first, but I can't imagine dreading to get by them on like your 3rd, 4th, 5th, even 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th run. It's just a lot of time wasted, like, shit. Like in RE2 Remake, when you had to be Sherry in that mansion running around. I mean, at least this game, it doesn't have puzzles, because sometimes I forgot the puzzles in that mansion, so it kind of took me extra. And you have to be playing that part again and again and again. It just gets really tedious. I don't know why they don't make a skip prompt for these kinds of sections. Oh, but thank God you can skip cutscenes, just like that. There's no hard mode, really. It's like easy, medium, and then extreme mode. I've been grinding Insanity, and it's insane how many times I've died at one spot, having to take breaks to refocus. But it's the best feeling in the world when you overcome those parts, because the difficulty spike is wild, and it feels like each section you get through is like a triumphant victory. It's kind of losing my mind. I found Grace's parts are very slow on replaying, as I knew what to do, but your pace is so slow compared to Leon's sprinting. And the need to go back and forth to the box felt tedious. It felt like a walking simulator sometimes. Just going back and forth when you ran out of space. It's like the parts when you had to wait for the enemies to go by sneaking around was awfully slow. Like, oh man, it's just, yeah. The aiming controls for me on PS5 were wonky. They didn't feel calibrated or something. I don't know if it was just me. Grace whimpers a lot, like a lot when she runs. The man puzzles. The puzzles were not very hard. I actually solved one with only looking at a very small hint, not the major hint. That's how you know it's easy. And the safes, you don't really have to think. You basically just go explore, find some paper, and then go back to the safe. It's not really thought-provoking. But there is one puzzle, but it got solved. So you can't bind the flashlight to another button, and I have this grown habit of using up as my handgun, so I kept turning on my flashlight. It's a small nitpick, but I think I did this maybe like 30 times, maybe even more. I don't know. There's no New Game Plus and Finish Game Score, which I thought was really weird. Mr. X went down way too easy. You know, it took him a whole game just to take him down, and he just went down in one fight. So I don't know what's up with that. And also, this guy, the whisker we have at home. The story for me felt like it fell off at the end. Okay, spoiler time. Skip to this whatever part I am talking about. Skip to it right now. 1, 2, 3, and... Anyway, I picked the wrong ending, and Leon gets shot and dies, and saves Grace. The end. I was like, wow, that was the most brutal death. I kind of believe he was going to die anyway, though, even on the other ending. His sickness really made it seem like he was gonna die, and I thought Capcom was gonna be ballsy and send him off to the Shadow Realm. I mean, they foreshadowed it like ever, so. And then the game asks you after credits, but do you want to check out the other ending? I was like, well, yeah, whatever, let's do it. And then turns out he lives, and Chris saves his ass, and everyone's happy. I don't know, it just felt weirdly unsatisfying. Like, I feel like things have to be at a stake for a twist of an ending to really hit, and it kind of missed its mark for me. I don't know what. Just didn't feel satisfied of an ending. I'd give this game a perfect score, but that ending really ruined it for me. Anyway, all in all, in conclusion, I know I'm one guy out of millions of fans, but I like voicing my opinion on stuff I really like. Capcom has made a game that seems to have fostered a bit of good from each of all other installments that came before it. This game feels like the apex of the franchise, in my opinion. I've been a fan of Resident Evil since I was a kid. I started from watching the movies that got me into the games, which got me loving this theme song. I'm still in the works of getting the Plat Trophy. Actually, I did get the Plat Trophy. So, I was in the works of getting the Plat Trophy, but I actually got it. I have this scripted out, but I got the Plat Trophy already. So, I can say that I did lose my mind a bit on the Insanity difficulty because it is really difficult. It's not for newcomers, and it's not for casual gamers, definitely. It's for people who want to torture themselves or who really love the franchise and need to show devotion or something. I don't know. So, Requiem, going forward with this conclusion, is a great game. It's like the best of both worlds in some genre-specific labeling. It's not perfect, but it's great. It's great to see Resident Evil back. That's all. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 11. You know, I'm seeing some gatekeepers and negative opinions on this game. I'm just glad there's another Resident Evil game on the market again. The market's been so saturated with so much bullshit. I see so many critics nitpicking it for every little thing. I mean, they can't just be grateful for like something good, you know? How shitty is your life to just, I don't know, shit on something that everyone loves? I mean, I fucking love this game. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I get some criticisms, but not all of them. Some of them are really good, but there's just, I see like smaller critics, and then I know the bigger critics, like the well-known critics, are just gonna have to put 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, because if they don't, they get a, I don't know. It's not good for their look, but for the, there's some fucking gatekeepers out there, I'll tell you that. And don't listen to them. Don't ever listen to them. Just listen to the general fan base. Just like, yeah. Anyways. Cheers.